Hello and happy Wednesday, everybody. We are going live right now in Manifest Your New Mindset. If you're watching the replay, please let me know you're watching the replay. And if you're on live, please let me know that you're on live and say hi. So I've been going live every day this week. Hi, Jewel. I get to see you again. Yay! And because really I have some important messages that I really want to connect with you and land with you. You also know that on Friday I'm doing a live Q&A. It won't be here inside of the group. It's in a Zoom meeting, and I have the link on yesterday's video. And I'll share it again. But here's what I want to talk to you about today, because these are messages that keep coming up that I really see that people get to hear, get grounded in order to get you the result that you want in your life. I'm known for helping people click in their mindset the block and shift the block that's been blocking their results. So here's what I want to talk to you about today. I want to talk to you about self-care, kind of, but really about something else, right? So I want to have a real human conversation, a real vulnerable conversation with you. And as you're listening, if this is resonating with you, please throw up some likes, some hearts, anything to let me know that this is connecting with you. Could be a touchy topic, but I think it's really important for us to talk about things that are real, because sometimes people will see me, for example, or see other people having big wins in their life, and you start to tell yourself that person is different, or that person has something that I don't have, or that person has it easier, right? We start to make up these stories about why that person has a result and we don't. And the truth of the matter is, I'm no different than you. I have the same limiting beliefs that I have to overcome and that I have to build myself into getting a result, right? I've had the same struggles or tribulations or trials that perhaps you're going through right now. And so it's really important to speak into that. So here's what I want to talk about. I want to speak specifically to those of you who at this moment in your life may be finding yourself, let's say, unmotivated and self-destructive. Okay, so we're going to be talking about self-destructive. And you know in your heart if the way that you're living your life right now is destructive to your physical health, your emotional health, your spiritual health. And maybe no one else in your life actually knows this about you, doesn't know that this is going on, but you know it, right? So for example, maybe that's manifesting itself in overeating, eating a lot of sugary foods, fatty foods, things that just don't make you feel good, maybe in the immediate, but not the next day, right? Maybe you're drinking more than normal, or just flat out boozing it up in the bars, right? Or at home by yourself. I mean, it could be manifesting as drug use for you, as missing workouts, right? Whatever it is, right? But you know that in your heart that this is self-destructive, right? That you're harming yourself, your spirit in some way. And if you are experiencing that right now, you might think that you're just unmotivated or you're weak. But maybe, and most likely, you're actually a driven person like me. You're a driven person. And the reason that you're self-destructing is because you know that you're not living up to your potential, right? You know that you could be and should be doing something more with your life. And I know that feeling because I have been there. I know that feeling because for about 2.5 years in my mid-20s, I lived a completely self-destructive life, right? And it was leading up to a story that I share often about the day that my mother, I had just turned 27, and my mother was suddenly killed in a car accident, right? That was like a turning point for me, that life is now. And that's kind of like when I snapped out of my 2.5 year kind of self-destructive, like just spiral, right? And so what that looked like for me was really all of the above, all of the things that I said, right? It was like really surrounding myself with people, like, I don't want to judge them because they were in their moment too, right? But I was in a collective mindset of self-destruction. Let me just say that. There wasn't anybody that was inspiring me to a higher level. I wasn't around that type of group at the time, right? And so I was overeating, staying out late at night. I was working in a bar or restaurant at the time, right? So drinking a lot, recreational drug use. I mean, all of that, not working out, like everything that was self-destructive to me, I was doing, right? And here's what you get to know about that. And here's what I figured out about that is that the reason you're self-destructing is that you're lacking. Well, here's the truth. The reason that driven people self-destruct is because they are not tapped into what they know they're meant to do here in this planet, right? Do you guys get what I'm saying? So even if you don't know what it is, you know that you're meant for more. Like in those years that I was experiencing that, I was really kind of making myself smaller to fit in with the majority of people. Because here's the thing, the majority of people are not driven. They are not self-starters. They are not big thinkers, right? And I was, but I wasn't tapped into that, right? I wasn't living as that person that I truly was underneath, that I was burning to be, right? And I wasn't having that experience. And so when you're living a life that doesn't feel like what God has really intended for you, and that really inspires you, driven people need to create, right? Most entrepreneurs, all entrepreneurs are really creative, right? Because we're creating, the whole idea of being an entrepreneur, for example, is you are creating services, you're creating businesses, ideas, products, whatever. And so I'm speaking about entrepreneur because that was me, but I wasn't doing that, right? And so because I couldn't create, I couldn't get out who I really was, I didn't have like a big vision that I was pursuing, that energy had to get out. And so it was getting out in destructive ways. Okay. So if you're lacking results, if you're lacking real results in your life, it's most likely not because you're not resting enough or meditating enough or doing enough yoga. Right? Like if I hear that one more time, like I can't tell you how many times like people are coming to me and they're not getting results and they're like, I need to journal about it more. I need to pray about it more. I need to meditate about it more. I need to sit and wait. I need to really go deeper. And listen, all of those things are great until they end up becoming the thing that keeps you from taking action, right? You're still in that space of meditating more, praying more, doing more yoga, writing more stuff in your journal, going deeper, but none of that is moving you forward, right? You're stuck in that space. So trust me, if you've been doing all of that, it's not more self-care that you need, it's action, right? It's a big goal that you need, right? You're not lacking rest and self-care. You're lacking a real goal, a big goal, one that you don't actually know how to achieve on your own. That is what keeps driven people in their drive, right? I was speaking to someone today and we talked about this idea of like, that's one of the main reasons people have midlife crisis, right? People who have midlife crisis are typically driven people. And what has happened is they've already hit all of their goals, right? Like they've hit the goals that they've set in their 20s, their 30s, their 40s. And now they're just sitting back, living that, quote unquote, American dream life, but they haven't created any bigger goals, right? Well, you've got to recharge. You've got to replug, every year, every couple of years. What got you motivated? What got your mojo and your juice flowing at one point is not the same thing that's going to keep it going at different points, right? So it's about hooking into that lifelong drive, right? So if you know that you are at this moment self-destructing in some way, in any of those examples that I gave, and like I said, I've been there on all of those examples, right? I've done all of that. And so if you know that this is you, right? And you'll know this is you because you'll have this deep feeling that you're wasting time. driven people do not like to waste time, right? So it's that pull inside of you of like, oh my God, am I wasting time? Am I being productive? Am I hitting my full potential? That's how you know you underneath, regardless of what is blocking you right now, regardless of what like sticking point or wall you might be hitting up against, right? If you ask yourself those questions, if you think like that, then you know you're a driven person. And all that is missing right now is that big goal, that big vision, something that you get to pursue that's greater than you even know how to achieve. That's where you start to get hooked back into the drive that is part of what's inside of you. That's how you get yourself out of that self-destructive pattern. It's not more self-reflection for the most part, because I know you. I know that you've already read all the books. You've already done all the journaling. You've been consistently going deeper. You know yourself inside and out, right? But now it's time to take action, right? If you're not getting the result you want, it's time to take a different action. So if you feel like this is you, you don't have to keep suffering, right? This feeling of frustration doesn't have to go on longer than it already has, right? And I can help you snap out of this. This is what I do. I can help you get back on track to creating a life that you can be proud of and that will inspire you to go even deeper and that you get to actually enjoy your life along the way. I was coaching inside of a group today with some of my peers and colleagues talking about this very thing, where they were asking me, how do you keep creating like these tremendous results in your business? And then, you know, you just turned pro and in your life and all of these things and with such flow. And the truth is, what happens is the hard shit gets easy. It no longer feels really like hard shit. When you hook into that lifelong drive and you know what you're driven to do, like you enjoyed the journey and you're not even really in a rush to get there. It's like you're unattached to the result and the results just magically happen. So that's something I'd love to help you with if you feel stuck right now, because you can get the edge again. You can get your drive again. I've fallen off and I've got back on, and I've really perfected being able to do that. And it's what I teach to really driven people right now. In fact, my business coach reached out to me and asked me for support around this. And so that's how I know that I've truly mastered this and demonstrated it in my life. So listen, guys, I'm going to throw a link to my schedule in here. I have a couple of spots open today and on Friday. Tomorrow I'm moving into settling at my new house. But here's the other thing. You don't have to just click on a link to get me. I'm a real person. You can send me a message on Messenger and say, hey, Jessica, I saw your live and I'd love to get on a phone call with you. Or, hey, Jessica, I looked at your calendar. There aren't any calls open. I mean, I'm in this space right now that I really just want to serve you. And so trust me, I can help create a tweak in your thinking in a 30-minute phone call. Right? Like you might not even decide to work with me. Yes, if that's the next best step for you, I will offer you that opportunity. But you might get what you need in the moment just on a 30-minute call with me. So why wouldn't you take that? Right? Why wouldn't you take that? You've got to think about becoming resourceful with how you get results. And one of the next level in getting results for driven people is that level of when we stop trying to do it all on our own. Because that gets us so far, because driven people are fighters and we push hard and we work hard, but it only gets you to like a C level, right? If you want to go A class, you've got to start getting support. That's how you know when you set big goals that you don't know how to achieve them, that's how you know you're starting to step up in your game, because that requires you to get support from people. So I'm going to throw my link in here. And if you want to book a call with me, I suggest you do it immediately. I suggest you do it immediately, because yesterday when I posted this, my calendar filled up right away. So I have a couple spots this afternoon and I have a couple spots on Friday. And like I said, you can always just reach out to me. You don't have to share in here if you are feeling self-destructive and if some of these things are real for you. You don't have to share that, but you know, if that's what's going on with you. And this is my invitation for you to have a breakthrough around that. And I will be Friday doing a live Q&A, Ask Jessica Anything, on a Zoom call, and I will post that for you as well. But if you're like me and you're just sick of wasting time and you want to get the result and you want to create momentum and move forward, then get on my calendar today or Friday, and let's see what breakthrough we can have for you. Okay, if you're watching the replay, guys, let me know, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Thanks for joining, Jewel, Lynette, Robin, Nicole, Rosemary, Sherelle. Hi. Who am I going to be able to speak to today? I look forward to it. Talk to you guys later. Bye.